Good morning. Today, our concept in health economics is cost benefit analysis. Before going to the concept, we will see what is an economic evaluation, meaning, and how it is related to health economics. So, economic evaluation is a process of systematic identification, measurement, and valuation of inputs and outcomes of two alternative activities and the subsequent comparative analysis of this. So, the, we will see economic evaluation in pertaining to health economics. So, whenever there is a policy or a program or something which is introduced for health economics, we have to do an evaluation whether the product, the policy, how it works, its measurement, everything we have to check. For this, we have to know what is an economic evaluation. So, for every policy, for example, I took policy. So, for every policy, there will be an alternative actions. So, we have to evaluate the inputs. For that input, what will be the outcome and the subsequent analysis of these outcomes. So, this is called economic evaluation. Whenever a policy is proposed, every policy has to undergo this economic evaluation. When a new medicine is implemented, when a new medical policy is implemented, all these policies, all this medicine should go through this economic evaluation. So, we have to evaluate, measure, identify these inputs as well as the outputs for this given inputs. So, existence of alternatives is at the heart of economic evaluation. Why we have to do this economic evaluation? Because we have to we have to take decisions, we have to make choices out of the given resources. We have to make choices in the given resources, which is an heart of economic. So, the evaluation is required for us to choose the best choice among the given resources, plans or everything. So, the forces that enables us to use this economic evaluation is first existence of infinite resources. So, first and foremost thing why we have to do evaluation is for in front of us there are many resources, out of which we have to take the best resource which will give us maximum output, for which the economic evaluation is very much necessary. Existence of infinite resources. So, prior to an evaluation, one must always check the effectiveness of the programs. So, it may be a program or a medicine or a tax policy, whatever it may be. Prior to evaluation, we have to check whether that policy or program is effective. So, to check this effectiveness, at the same time to do the best choice out of the infinite resources, we have to go through this economic evaluation. So, what are all the components of economic evaluation? Healthcare programs take inputs. So, what we will take inputs, it won't change, it will be the same labor, capital, etc. And we will transform them into different outputs. Input measure is called cost. It is a monetary unit. We will take here monetary units of our inputs. We will call that as cost. Diagnostic test outcome or an operation successfully completed are outputs. I have given some examples like diagnostic test outcome or an operation successfully or a new tax policy or a new program or new medicine. All this will require an outcome, or they are once they are successfully completed, they are called outcomes, which we will call as effects. and expressed in natural units such as percentage, detection or completion ratio. Second thing, broader measure of effects relies on utilities. What are utilities? Estimates of the satisfaction of the effects, and the output unit is called a quality adjusted life year, the satisfaction of the time that a person has left to live. The output is expressed here. The output is expressed in monetary units as costs, in which case the consequences are now called as benefits. So, we will call these inputs as cost and we will call the outputs as benefit. We will call inputs as, we will take inputs as cost and we will take the output as benefit. All this will be expressed in terms of monetary units. We will see what is clearly cost and benefit. So, cost is a negative impact on an organization. That means any negative impact on an organization from the implementation of a product. For example, maintaining cost, any environmental effect, research development, labor cost. So, all these kind of any cost impact upon the implementation of the project to the organization, we will call that as cost. Then what is benefit? A benefit is a positive effect which is an outcome of this input, which is an outcome of the cost you incurred. A benefit is a positive effect on the organization, or it may be an economy, or it may be a government regarding health. A government, a benefit is any positive effect on the organization resulting from the implementation of the project. It may be example, increase in the productivity, reduction of costs, saving time. So, if I introduced one policy, tax policy, if I introduce one subsidy policy to the healthcare systems, then that will be resulting in reduction of cost for that hospital, because I am giving subsidies. I am from government side, I am giving subsidies. I'm saving some time. I am leveraging to do tests in all laboratories. I am saving some time. I am increasing the productivity. I am giving training to many people. So, I am increasing the productivity. So, this is benefit. So, cost and benefit is nothing but cost is an input side, benefit is an output side. Both are monetary units only. So, cost is the impact, negative impact of on the organization resulting from the implementation of some particular project, policy, program, anything. Wherein the benefit is, it's a positive effect what the organization is enjoying because of the implementation of the project, policy, program, anything. So, these two has to be calculated, which will be very helpful or which will be very effective in healthcare services. In order to, by calculating the cost and benefit of healthcare services, we can arrive at effective healthcare system in the economy in place. So, now we will go into what is cost or input side deeply, little deep. Okay, there are three categories of costs are there. One is direct cost, second is indirect cost, third is intangible costs. What is this direct, indirect, intangible? We will see. What is direct? Direct related to the healthcare industry. That is doctors, hospitals, patients, what are all the costs they are incurring in the direct relationship with them. Physician, nursing expenses. So, any hospital can have this direct cost savings. Any hospital will have this cost savings. These direct costs are under purview of an hospital. They are under the control of a particular hospital. So, the hospital management can take care of these costs and can do cost savings. Okay. So, next is indirect cost. Inputs and outputs that pass outside the healthcare industry. What it is? When direct cost is within the hospital, indirect cost is outside the healthcare industry. Outside the healthcare industry. The main measure of these indirect effects is earnings foregone. That is, we may call this as opportunity cost, or enhanced due to treatment, or as earnings reflect the value of production lost to or gained by the rest of the society. All the indirect cost involved in the healthcare system, healthcare industry, that is outside the healthcare industry. What is the opportunity cost I have foregone? What is the gain I have attained? What is the gain I have been benefited from that policy, from that scheme, or from that production, or whatever it may be? Okay, or to the rest of the society. What are all the benefit I am receiving because of this particular program or medicine or policy or subsidy or tax policy, whatever. Now is intangible. That means we can't move it out. The pain and suffering that are caused by the healthcare intervention. So, by the healthcare intervention, what are the pain and sufferings we have undergone? So, these are three types of cost involved, or three types of cost we have to consider with regard to the healthcare services. So, how to measure benefit out of this cost? Step 1, identify benefits that consumers value. First thing, you have to identify whether this policy, what is the benefit that the consumer is going to get, or what is the value that consumer is going to give. This benefit is going to give me so much of value, so much of benefit. Second step, identify benefits that staff, client and other value. That means per people involving in that program, what are all the benefits they are going to get. Develop a clear logic model. Select benefits that can be measured in dollars or rupees or whatever currency. So, you have to convert the benefit into monetary units. First, you have to see what is the consumer value, customer's value or benefit that the customers are expecting. Then you have to identify the benefits of the staff, client or clients who are involved in this policy. Then develop a clear model. Then select the benefits that can be measured in terms of monetary value. You have to select where and all I can convert it in a monetary value. Fifth step, very important, is select the benefits that will be excluded from the best cost ratio calculation, but will be used to reinforce the cost benefit analysis. CBA is cost benefit analysis. So, you have to separate the monetary values, benefits that can be measured in monetary values, at the same time benefits that cannot be measured in monetary values. Sixth step, conduct an inventory of existing evaluation data. So, do conduct an inventory on the existing evaluation data. Measure the benefit again, adjust monetary benefits keeping in the mind inflation. So, your monetary benefits of an economy or for a policy should not cause or affect inflation in the economy. Discount future benefits. You have to implement a policy keeping in the mind of future benefits. Next, identify co-founding factors. So, you have to identify the other factors which will be co-funding to this cost and benefit. This is how you have to calculate your cost and benefit. Steps to calculate your cost and benefit. So, step 1, again I am repeating, to identify the benefits from the customer's value, to identify the benefits from the staff, client and other value, to develop a clear logic model, select benefits that can be measured in dollars, select benefits that will be excluded from the benefit cost ratio calculation, but will be used to reinforce CBA. CBA is cost benefit analysis. Conduct an inventory of existing evaluation data, measure benefit, adjust monetary benefits for inflation, discount future benefits, identify co-funding factors. So these are how to measure benefit. So now we will go into economic evaluation and types. What are all the various methods? Knowing the importance of what is economic evaluation, why important, how economic evaluation is important, knowing what is cost and what is benefit and how they have to be calculated, what are different costs, how to measure benefit. With all this basic knowledge, we will move on to various types of economic evaluation. We have 4 types. First is cost benefit analysis, which is a part of our curriculum. So cost benefit analysis, cost effective analysis, cost utility analysis, cost minimization. So these 4 are the various types of economic evaluation techniques. So whenever a policy, program or anything has been invented in a healthcare system, evaluation is very much necessary, that we have to evaluate, we can evaluate in these 4 types. So first we will see what is cost benefit analysis. So what is a cost benefit analysis? Cost benefit analysis is used to decide whether to implement one specific intervention or a program, which can be determined if net benefits are more. What is cost benefit analysis will help or used these, why we have to use this analysis? To decide whether to implement one program which will have high net benefits. We will see CBA, that means cost benefit analysis is a quantitative analytical tool to aid decision makers in the efficient allocation of resources. So as an economics students, we have to keep in mind that we have to use the resources effectively. So this CBA is an analytical tool which will help us to take a decision which will be an efficient allocation of resources. It identifies and attempts to quantify the cost and benefits of a program. What it is? It will identify and attempts to calculate what are all the total cost and what are all the total benefits of a program, and converts available data into a manageable information. Continuing. Cost benefit analysis provides a systematic assessment of the costs and benefits associated with an intervention. That means it's a systematic analysis. It can be used choosing between competing options. When we have 2 policies in place, 2 ideologies in place, we can use this to take or to choose which program is better, which tax policy is better, which has to be included. In this case, you would choose the intervention, that means in case of 2 or more, which will have a high return, you can take that and implement that policy for the benefit of the economy. So in case you have 2 or 3 policies in place and you have to decide one policy to be implemented, you can use this analysis as a tool to decide the policy. A benefit as changes that increases human well-being, a cost as a changes that decreases human well-being. So for the purpose of comparison, these increases and decreases in well-being are measured using money as a common indicator. So as I said, for the purpose of comparison between the cost and benefit, all this will be measured in terms of monetary unit. Fine. So, how to calculate this cost benefit analysis? So, a net benefit of a change, a net benefit of a change will be arrived at benefit minus cost, benefit minus cost. How to calculate a benefit? Earlier we have said you the benefit. While measuring the benefit, we have to follow few terms, few steps for measuring benefit. So, a difference between that benefit and the cost will be giving the net benefit of change. So, by calculating this net benefit, is that enough? How the values should come? It should come like the change is said to be economically efficient. When this change is said to be economically efficient, if the NPV, net present value, what is this net present value? So, coming to the point, what is this net present value? I have said about net benefit change. So, now we are talking about net present value. Net present value is nothing but a change or in the benefit and cost. So, when we will say the change is said to be economically efficient is when the NPV is positive. The ratio of total benefits to the total costs, that means B by C ratio should be greater than 1. That means if 1 rupee spent on, for example, I will say X item, I will save Y dollars. I will save Y dollars. That means that implementation of B by C ratio greater than 1, easy to manipulate, get higher ratios. So, I have to study the ratio for the amount spent on each dollar spent on X program or X policy or X medicine. How much I am going to save? That ratio should always be greater than 1. Okay. At the same time, my net benefit should also be positive, not negative. NPV, my net benefit, net present value should be positive. It should not be less than 0. It should not be less than 0. For example, the first we saw this benefit cost ratio. To find this ratio, divide the net benefits by its net cost. The result is a summary measurement that states for every dollar spent on a program, how many dollars you have saved. This type of summary measure is popular with the policy makers because it is easy to understand. So, for policy makers to introduce one new policy or new program or new tax policy or subsidy policy, when we calculate the benefit in this kind of ratio or cost benefit ratio, that means for every rupee spent, what is the amount saved? That should be always greater than 1. So, these type of measurement will be easy for and easily understandable by the policy makers. If the benefit cost ratio is greater than 1, this implies that the program produces more benefit than cost. What this implies? Greater than 1 means what? We will get more benefit than the cost we have indulged. At the same time, if you have negative ratio, what I said, it should be greater than 1. In case if you have a negative ratio, means that the program does not save you more, the cost will be high. So, when it is a negative in ratio, this shows that the program won't save you more. You have to leave this program. You should not go in implementing this program. Please choose a better option. So, that is what the negative ratio says. So, these can be easily understandable. So, or in other words, if it is a negative determination means costs or negative benefits. That means when my B by C ratio is less than 1 or less than 1, or it is a negative number, then which says that we don't have any benefits out of this policy or program, please leave this and go in for a better policy. If it is greater than 1, it shows that the costs are lesser than the benefits. So more benefits are there for the cost you spent. So please go ahead with this analysis. That is what cost benefit analysis says. So you have to calculate a cost benefit analysis for the program policy which you have in choice in terms of in healthcare services. So calculate the cost benefit, net benefit of a change, NBV value, benefit minus cost. So if the cost is less, benefits are more, then the ratio will be greater than 1. So please, we have to go ahead with the program. When the ratio is less than 1, then we have to withdraw this policy and go in for a better policy. This is how you have to calculate. So it is a multidisciplinary process involving economists, expertise from different fields. So it cannot be done as a single person or a single or particular industry people. You have to include a team of members to calculate this kind of cost benefit, because we have to calculate cost benefit in healthcare. These costs include direct, indirect, intangible cost. At the same time, benefits also includes monetary cost and other satisfactory benefit costs. So it cannot be taken from a single industry side. So it's a multidisciplinary process involving various resource persons who are there, an economist, an expertise from different fields, or an expertise from health field. We will say health field, the input from policy and decision makers. So we have to get ideas from all the sector of people and implement this CBI. So how to steps we have to follow in cost benefit analysis. 1. Define the objective of intervention. So what is the objective of my policy? Define the objective. Step 2. Define the baseline, that is what would happen if no action is taken. Step 3. Define the alternative options to achieve the object. So you have to keep your plan A, B, C ready in place. If this plan A doesn't work, you have to go for plan B. Quantify the investment cost of each option compared to the baseline. Identify and quantify the positive and negative welfare effects of each alternative option compared to the baseline. Step 6. Value the welfare effects in monetary terms using market prices and economic valuation methods. So you have to, when you are giving monetary units, keep in mind you are using market prices. Step 7. Calculate the present value of costs and benefits occurring at different points in time using an appropriate discount rate. Calculate a net present value or benefit cost ratio. What is net present value? It is nothing but benefit cost ratio of each alternative option. When you have plan A, B, C in place, then please calculate this cost benefit ratio for all these plans. Be ready for your further usage or future usage. Perform a sensitivity analysis. Select the most efficient intervene option. So when you have a plan A, B, C in place, calculate this net present value or benefit cost ratio. Keep it ready. Find which was is more effective, which is giving you more benefit, which is higher in benefit percentage. Then go implement that program. This is how you have to analyze cost benefit analysis. Thank you.